am one of the leaders of the DoTERRA company, as Sergey, for example, as some other leaders who are here. And for me, it's been 3 years in the company already. I know a lot. I will share all this with you. And we will start with the company. The company was established 14 years ago. It was established by 7 founders, 6 men and 1 beautiful lady, who puts all her heart in this business. And these 7 founders, they put their own money to start this business. So there are no investors in DoTERRA. And I will give you also some very interesting numbers. Now DoTERRA is the largest worldwide company of essential oils, and it has more than $2 billion in sales. It has more than 10 million customers worldwide. Imagine, in the whole world, more than 10 million people are registered in the company, and they use essential oils and the products based on essential oils. And there are more than 40 offices in the world, global offices. And there are 27 countries that already have DoTERRA registered in their country, like it's gonna be after summer, let's say, in Emirates. That's what we're all waiting for. And among these 7 founders who established DoTERRA, there were people coming from business and people coming from medical sphere, from aromatherapy, specialists of aromatherapy. And what was important from the very beginning is the quality of the essential oils. And there is one really nice video from DoTERRA, and honestly, I was crying looking at all this, at how much passion was put in the start of this company, of this great company. And that's why DoTERRA always searches for the best, genetically best places for each plant in the whole world. And then they would support the farmers who can cultivate, who can grow these plants. They would bring some specialists in order to help the farmers. DoTERRA is always trying to help people. It's the company that actually heals the world, and also, for example, it supports the countries like Africa with water. It builds the water system, or it builds the hospitals. And when we are talking regarding the plants, the essential oils, what is important? The plant itself. Only from a good, healthy plant we can get a good essential oil. That's the main principle. That's why there are so many countries in the world where DoTERRA harvests all these plants and then it makes the essential oils. There are 2 main types of how we produce the essential oil. The main one is the steam distillation. It's something like we cook at home. Sometimes we cook some fish using the same process of steam distillation. And for DoTERRA, what is important is that all these factories are put as close to the fields as possible. It's the same, like, for example, we buy flowers and we don't go somewhere, we don't go shopping, we go directly home to put these flowers in the water. The same here. And some plants, for example, DoTERRA is cutting only 2 hours at the sunrise or 2 weeks in the whole year. So it's not industrial at all. It's the heart of the plants. That's why the quality we have is the highest in the world. And then one more important thing is that all the essential oils, once they are produced, they are tested. There are minimum 7 tests for each essential oil. Then all these oils, they are transported, they're shipped to the United States. The company is, sorry, I didn't say this, this is an American company. So all the oils are shipped to the United States, and after shipping there is the second control, the second testing. Minimum of 7 different tests, but there can be even 54 tests. Some of them are from the individual, how do you call them, these companies that check the quality. And some of them are from DoTERRA. And these this thing that DoTERRA checks the oil the first time once it's produced, then the second time after shipping, and then the third time when all the oils are put in the small bottles like these ones, for example. Then there is the last control. And after that, we get this sticker. Some people say, it's written in another language. Yes, it can be because there are so many markets. But the oil inside is exactly the same. Exactly. It doesn't, it's not important what is written here because sometimes the regulations of the countries are different, but the oil inside is the same. And DoTERRA also invented this CPTG standard, which is very hard to be passed by other companies. It guarantees the quality of the essential oils. Then, after the third testing, all these small little bottles are shipped all over the world, and then we get them. When we get the oils, how do we use them? There are 3 different types of using the essential oils. The first one, how do you think which one is the first? The most common. Exactly. We all smell this nice essential oil, and many people say, yes, yeah, I need these essential oils. I like when there is a nice smell at home. And so many people don't even understand that this is just the very beginning. It's nothing in the whole way of using the essential oils. So the first one, yes, we really smell it. The second one is putting it on our skin, on our hair, on our nails. And this method already gives us much more, because like this we can help our body. For the ladies, you know this thing. Like sometimes, especially in changing climates, in this dry air, we have dry ends of our hair, we have dry skin, etc., etc. We use essential oils. Or for example, you were cooking something and then you touch the hot oven, you put lavender, and it immediately helps you. There's so many ways to use the essential oil to apply it on our skin, nails, hair. And the third one, maybe it's my favorite, the internal one. We have in DoTERRA not only the essential oils, we also have products based on the essential oils. And when we are talking about the steam distillation, all the essential oils, they go up, and all the hormones, all the proteins and vitamins, they stay down. We don't have proteins or we don't have vitamins in the essential oils. That's why we need them separately. DoTERRA gives us very good complex of all the vitamins, of the essential oils to take inside. Or for example, for the digestive system or for the immune system, there is a lot of support. Also, it's very important so that a good essential oil does not contact with plastic. That's why it's very important not to buy just any diffuser, because otherwise you kill the whole process. There are so many bad elements, unhealthy elements in the plastic. When essential, it can burn the plastic. So the same for the body lotions, for the creams. We cannot put it in any cream. It's important. There are many brands, expensive brands, which are not really good for the skin. That's why in DoTERRA we have shampoos, we have conditioners, creams, whatever. Like really many things. And what is important in this business is that DoTERRA really heals the world, heals the people, and little by little, step by step, from a person to a person, we change our lifestyle. We change the life of our children. Because, for example, the little ones, when you wash the floor with something chemical, children, what they smell. This, exactly. That's why it's really important for all of us, for the clients, for the leaders who are growing this company, because we really heal the world. What else is important? Now, for example, here, we have these, how do you call them, sandstorms? Something like this?
Sandstorms, the dust storm.
Dust storm, exactly. And all this remains here.
And also psychologically it affects a lot
Of
of
course,
people.
of course. Or we have a burning sun. All this affects our body. We need to protect, we need to give more. The essential oils is something that we get naturally. But the life is not that natural nowadays in all the countries. That's why we need this extra help. It's not like years and years ago, when, for example, we had fields, we had forests, we could walk, we had some physical activity. It's not the same anymore. And in every cell, what we need is oxygen. Otherwise, there's so many of different diseases. And only when we treat each of our cells with oxygen, you can't even make, for example, a fireplace at home without oxygen. It's impossible. The same for our body. That's why, again, the essential oils is a great supply for our health. Using the essential oils is really, really simple. There are few rules. There are some hot oils you can understand immediately. If you put it on your skin, you will know it. But what is important, again, in this type of business, that it goes from a person to a person. And we explain everything. We explain how to use. We explain what to do, what not to do. How many drops we need for the children, of which age, or during the pregnancy, or if there are some health issues already. We can help. We can help and we can prevent. And like this, we are really taking care of the newcomers. But then each person has his own account when he's registered in the company, and then you realize, oh, I go to this country, I would need this and these oils or these products, and we can order it for ourselves, we can get it, and we're independent. We get our products and we help ourselves, and we use it. But we always have the support from the person who invited us to this world of the essential oils. Regarding the product part, let's say, these are the main things that I wanted to tell you today, and I would pass the second part to Sergey, and he will tell you more regarding the new market of Emirates that is going to be open here soon, and regarding the business, regarding the first steps, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Olivia.
I'm very happy that you're here. It took me like 3 or 4 visits to start enjoying Dubai. My wife, who came 2 days ago, she fell in love with Dubai right away. But for me, it was a long story. Because maybe at the moment we live in Bali, and Bali is very different from Dubai. But every time I come, I see Dubai being more green, more nice, more. The first time I came before pandemic, it wasn't green and nice. Yeah. So, can I ask you to put in vibration? Yeah. My story with oils and business goes really far in the history. I was lucky to fall in love with oils in 1993. I was the first person to smuggle essential oils in the suitcases into Russia. And my original attitude was to use oils to work with older states of consciousness. At that moment, I was doing breath work. If you're familiar with rebirthing and holotropic breath, I was one of the first to bring it into former Soviet Union. We used it in meditation. We used it in all kind of body-oriented practices, and I was very happy about it. Apart from that, I was maybe using tea tree oil when I have sore throat or when I have some cards and something. But every year I realize that essential oils is much more than just getting legally high in extended state of consciousness. And I met DoTERRA 5 years ago, and my first experience was with frankincense, and that was a difficult day with a lot of stress, and my head was like, I felt very stressed, and I put just 2-3 drops of frankincense in my temple, and 10 minutes later I felt like a happy idiot. I felt totally here and now. My parasympathetic system, those I have these trembles and tingling over my body, and I felt, oh yeah, it's definitely cheaper than marijuana and less dangerous. So I also say a couple words about the mission of the company. It's not like they just wanted to do the best oils for the sake of best oils. The mission of the company is to replace pharmaceuticals. And that's a very clear mission, because you probably know, and I think in Dubai it's still very visible, this infatuation with science, like chemistry and all kind of medicine and cesarean section at birth and so on and so forth. And I always say that using pharmaceuticals, it's like buying things with credit card. You get the result and you pay the interest later, and the interest can be much more than the result you get. So DoTERRA wanted to do, the way I like to put it is like pharmaceutical quality without pharmaceutical side effects. And I put a little bridge into the business. There are 2 dangers in our business. One danger is obvious, and the other danger is hidden. And because it's hidden, it's even more dangerous. The obvious danger is like direct sales. Oh, no. I'm a nice girl, I'm not doing direct sales. Why? It's a bad thing to do. Yeah. But the hidden danger is to mistake aromatic for therapeutic. So DoTERRA is not about nice smell. Some of the oils do not smell nice. Especially, we had the leadership summit here in Dubai. There was one lady from China, Chinese market, and she brought some like unique oils for China, and some of them smell disgusting, but they're really, really good for health. Yeah. So when we put oils in the therapeutic context, it becomes very clear why do we need to use it and why do we pay the amount we pay. And talking about the price for clients, I use kind of also the trick, the life hack. I say, do not look at the price of the bottle, look at the price of one headache, the price of one stomach upset, the price of one sore throat, and then you will see it would be cheaper to get yourself in good condition with 2-3 drops of oils than even in the most cheap pharmaceutical from the pharmacy across the street. So at the end, the usage of the oil becomes much more affordable than to buy pills, than to do all kind of procedures on your body and so on. So that was the original impulse of DoTERRA, and it really hits the expectation of millions of people. That's why DoTERRA since 2008 was growing exponentially on all markets. And when we look at the avatar, we call it avatar, the like average person that is DoTERRA user, that's usually a family that is aware of pharmaceutical danger, is aware of chemical load, is aware of all kind of side effects for the kidneys and liver and lungs and so on, but they're not too kind of fairy to do only shamanic energy healing and all this like far away stuff. So they're still rational people, but they understand that doing pharmaceutics is a no-no, especially for children, as Olivia said. And DoTERRA actually was born from mummies with kids. A lot of original DoTERRA people, original DoTERRA leaders, they were people that did it not for the sake of themselves, but for the sake of children. For example, there was one of my partners at JIT, he left because he has a morning flight. He told the story. He's also living in Bali, and he had some problem with his daughter. That was before he joined DoTERRA. The daughter was like 4 years old. He came to the hospital, and before even checking thoroughly, they tried to prescribe her 2 different antibiotics for the 4-year-old kid. So a lot of doctors, they don't even think like what will happen with this kid like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So DoTERRA users, DoTERRA partners, these are the people who do not want to support this anymore. And I assume that the fact that you're here means that you're also into natural stuff, right? Right. Yeah. So right now, I not only do altered states of consciousness with the oils, I use it for the like family pharmacy. And even my younger son is 2.5 years old, and he knows that if he kind of cut himself or he fall down, he comes and says, "Mommy, oil, mommy, oil." Yeah, so he already knows it.
Which one he's using?
Sorry?
Which one he's using?
Depending on what happened, it's either tea tree oil or lavender for the burn, or deep blue for all kind of bruisers and that type of stuff. And then my girls, 6 and 8 years old, they go to school, and the school kind of supports entrepreneurial mind. So one day they came from school and they showed us the tickets for aroma touch massage. And they're selling it for 20,000 rupees, which is a little bit more than $1, to their classmates. And it said, aroma touch massage, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. And one of our partners, she was here also. Her daughter is, I think she's 10 at the moment, and she came and said, I want to be a partner, I want to enroll people, I want to build a business. Legally, you cannot do it if you're less than 18, but she put the older daughter and this younger daughter under one DoTERRA ID, and now they're working together enrolling people. Yeah, so to kind of wrap up the story about the product and clients, DoTERRA has amazing retention rate, client loyalty. That was one of the reasons why I joined 5 years ago, because, like I said, I'm 29 years with oils, I'm 32 years with direct sales. I did a lot of things. I was a leader, I was a consultant, I was a trainer, I was a vice president of a Russian company, and then I realized, no, I'm not a corporate person. And then I waited like about 6 years before something of high caliber, good quality was coming to Russian market. And then my friends called me and I checked and I saw, okay, 68% retention rate. That means that 7 out of 10, when start using, they use oils more than a year. And that's the main problem of the industry and modern world. Like, people check one relationship, another relationship, third relationship, one restaurant, second restaurant, third restaurant. There is not too much loyalty left in this world compared to 100 years ago, where people stayed in one house, lived with one man, blah, blah, blah. So DoTERRA is an island of loyalty in the world of chaos. Yeah? So 7 out of 10 do orders more than a year. So it's not like just the second order, it's the orders more than a year, which makes our life very easy. Now a couple words about the business itself before I go to the market and our future. Network marketing is mutating. It's changing very rapidly. And it's very different from what it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I always stress 2 huge differences for DoTERRA compared to other direct sales company. The first one, it's not about sales, it's about creating the community of consumers. Because original network marketing companies, they make people go and sell to other people, and that's how they created a lot of bad name. Now, it's not about selling, we're more kind of selling by educating. And all their turnover, all the orders, they come not from us, but they come directly from the company using our, in this case, your referral links. That's why I like to call it more referral marketing, not the network marketing anymore. The second big difference is that it is about part-time, not the full-time. I say that original network marketing was for people who hate their job and they want to quit their job as soon as possible, so they try to create as much income as possible, as quick as possible. But new network marketing, referral marketing, and DoTERRA is the greatest example of it. It is for people who like what they do. They're in love with their project. Like, I have a big project in personal growth. I work with value systems, and I have online school. Olivia has a great online school on psychology and astrology. She's living between Vilnius, Cyprus, Barcelona, and Milano, and has a lot of customers online. Leah, who later will talk about this approach in business, She is well-known consultant for their female women online schools. And she created herself several huge projects in the internet. So we all love what we do. And I know some of you are yoga teachers, some of you are like health coach, yeah. So it's a totally different approach of building a network marketing business. When we talk with the leader of existing community and we introduce DoTERRA as a way to support their clients. Like if we talk to the yoga teacher, we say, hey, there is a yoga kit that can really support the practice of your clients. If we talk about with like a consultant or coach or psychotherapist, there is emotional aromatherapy kit that can really support. That's what I did in the 90s. I realized that some oils, they bring up emotions that people try to hold on. And other oils, they help to integrate emotion after they already start moving. Yeah, so we have oils for activation and oils for integration. And we talk to people from fitness and we say, okay, we have a deep blue line. And it's a great line for all type of physical training, for fatigue, or for any type of trauma. So we create additional value for the community and additional monetization for the leader of community. So it's really like win-win-win situation. It's a win for the clients, it's a win for their guru, and it's a win for all of us because we get paid from the company on the percentage of the overall turnover that we create. So our kind of profile, what we do now, is creating, supporting, extending, nourishing communities. Saying that, we see that Emirates, it's a great place now because there is, even Saudi Arabia. I went to Saudi Arabia in June, and there, I used to think about Saudi Arabia as like the most closed country in the world. And I say, oh, there is a meditation center. You wouldn't be killed during the meditation? No, it's like really fancy now. There are some yoga schools, there are all kind of activities in health and personal growth in Arabic Peninsula. Yeah. So that's when we come. Olivia said that DoTERRA planned official opening, and that's true, and it will happen sometimes in the middle of 2023. But what's happening with creating the core of DoTERRA partners, the best way to start is 1 year before the official opening. Because when you wait for official opening, all pie is already cut into pieces. And the moment we talk to you, there are some other groups talking in Dubai Marina and somewhere. Even we had a very funny thing in the hotel we stayed. It's about 10 people. It was about 50 people in Radisson Blu, and then some of us stayed and we moved to Dubai. We like Zaha Hadid, we like all this like beautiful design. And then I came to breakfast and the girl said, somebody is doing presentation on DoTERRA on the 2nd floor. And they showed me the picture and I don't recognize who, and I thought I know everybody from the community. And I go there, I look at them, and I go there like this, okay? And I come close, I realize I don't recognize them, and they look at me, and they don't recognize me. Finally, one lady who put it together, she recognized me. And that's a totally different group that had nothing to do with our market in former Soviet Union, that came directly from United States. And but the main girl, she is Russian, so she's also bringing Russian-speaking community, and so we feel competition already now, 1 year before the official opening. So, what is official opening? So you understand. Official opening is the moment when there is a website in Arabic and English too. The prices would be in dirhams. It will be all certified not only for personal use, but for sales, so it will be possible to sell it in the bars and stores and so on. Though it's still not a very good idea, but at least it will be a possibility. And the payments, the commission payment would be done just on the local bank account. And it can be done, the good news is that it will be available not just for residents and people with their companies, it will be available even for people on tourist visas. And only when you start earning $100,000 per year, then you need to have your kind of business visa and establishing the corporate presence. But once you're earning $100,000 a year, you can pay a little bit to set up it. So before we thought that local market would be difficult, and the most difficult market is China. India is very difficult. You need to do a lot of legal stuff. Even on business visa, you cannot do business there, only on residency. But it ended up so Dubai is so open, so democratic, easier than Italy, for example, because in Italy you need to have codice fiscale, which is like social security number right away. And here, yeah, just do it. So the only real problem, which is not really a problem, is that we are ordering product from United States, and it takes like 7 to 10 days to get here. But for example, when we order Russian market, it was 1 month. When we open in Indian market, we paid 72% tax on every package. When we open Thai market, it was like every 1 out of 5 packages just disappeared in the post or customs. When people try to work with Turkey, just recently, one guy lost $2,000 worth of oils in the customs. So Emirates is just so easy. And sometimes people say, oh, but I need to pay for shipping. Yes, but when we compare the end price, it's still cheaper than to buy DoTERRA oils in Rome or Paris or London. It's it's a little bit cheaper than in Europe. Why? Because the price in the United States is 30% lower than in Europe. And if you don't ship 1 bottle, and we don't ship 1 bottle, if you ship like nice mid-size order, then we pay maybe 20-25% on top of US price. which still makes it lower than in Europe. So, the end point here that it's really smooth to start business of DoTERRA right now. And once you create the community, you get 15-20% of commissions on all orders, not only people you invite, but their grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so on and so forth. And you get it on their bank card called ProPay. It's like huge international system for payments, trans-border payments. And then you go to their closest ATM machine or you pay with this card. So it's very easy to get money from DoTERRA. Yeah. It's easy to get product. It's just a little bit longer than 2-3 days in all markets that are already open, and it's easy to get money. Even in Indonesia, who will be open after Emirates, like at the end of next year, we get our money transferred to the local Indonesian bank like overnight. So no problems. And there are 3 people here that live in Bali. Yeah. Okay. Now I talk about strategy. For that, I would in a minute invite in a minute. There are 2 approaches of working with community. One is create community one person by one person at a time. Another, as I said, to plug into existing community, like yoga community, therapeutic community, fitness community, meditation community. And our approach is the second one. You will see the first one too. DoTERRA is 90% like person to person, the regular one. But we belong more B2B compared to B2C. And especially in the beginning of the market, we will train you to do B2B. And now I invite Leah, and she is a perfect example. She was my first diamond.
What is diamond?
And diamond is the person who makes $10,000 a month and above. And she created these with 10 phone calls. Why? Because at that moment, she was already well positioned as a consultant for online school, girls' online schools. So she called her clients, she called the people that she knew from like e-commerce conferences, and 4 out of 10 people said yes. And one of them was actually Olivia. Yeah.
It's my first diamond, one of the first diamonds.
Yeah. So, and I give you a brief story so you understand kind of the scope of difference between communities. The first community was called Lady Freelance. And that's a community how the young girl can earn $200-300 doing some jobs on the internet, like transcribing or managing somebody's account, administration job. People or girls that had no education, not living in big cities. And they had like not even thousands, maybe 10,000s, 100,000 of these girls all over former Soviet Union. And some of them responded to this new opportunity. The second community was a business community. One of her partners, she was leading the blog on different ways of running business, like different life hacks of running business. And she introduced DoTERRA as one of the potential businesses, and her audience responded. Then the third one was Olivia. It was about psychology, it was about emotions, and her audience responded to emotional aromatherapy and other things. And the fourth one was the guy who ran a school on Chinese metaphysics, like the Book of Changes, the Mantic practices. So it was about frankincense, it's about like meditation, expanding your consciousness. So 4 very different communities responded to the idea of DoTERRA, which makes Leah's life very comfortable in 6 months.
In 1 year.
in 1 year.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about DoTERRA and that type of business, that it's not about money itself, it's about freedom. So we're here for freedom, because if you get more money but you pay with the time, with your children, with your like meditation time, with your development or education, it's not worth it. So it is about freedom. And a year ago, Leah said the phrase that I keep remembering again and again. She said, I took 2021 and invested this year in myself. Traveling, relationship, massage, Japan, learning design and different, like, yeah. We didn't saw her much in 2021. She very comfortably invested this year into her own journey. She had an opportunity to do that.
It was $20,000 in monthly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I want, and after she shares her secrets, I would love her really kind of torture her with questions, because like this girl knows how. I have more stress building the business compared to her, but I do the kind of men's thing. Yeah, she does it so smoothly, so nicely, so effortless. It's a real feminine way during business. So I asked Leah to share these approaches of integrating DoTERRA into communities, because as I said, we believe that that's the most kind of fertile, direct and effective way, especially in the beginning of new market.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. My name is Leah, but I have my business nickname like Veta, so it's the reason why you can call me boss. My English is not so perfect that I wanted, but I do my best today now. And now I'm going to open all 3 markets that's coming the closest year from now. It's Emirates, India, and also Indonesia. It's one of the reasons why I'm so excited again to come back to business, to working with people. And now for me it's a kind of challenge to do it mostly in English. So I have a lot of people now in Indonesia, some of them in India coming, and also we just start in Emirates together. Sergey already tell you the short version of my story, and I'm really excited to help people with DoTERRA essential oils, because it's kind of business that really healing emotionally, healing in social connection people, and also in financial way. Like for me, this business it's about financial healing for a lot of families, for a lot of people, women, and different kind of partners that come to us, because there is a DoTERRA has a good compensation plan. It's about how this percents will paid for you from your volume that you make in your community. And it's really simple. It's not so difficult that it will if you will first see your compensation plan, maybe you will have illusion. So like this, oh, it's so difficult, I don't understand it. But if you remember, like your first time saw, как таблицу умножения?
Timetable.
Yeah. If you remember when you at school first time see this multiply, on the math lessons, it was really difficult for the first sign, but then you will check it and it will come not so easy. It's really simple. So it's one of the first things you need to know to understand where is the money coming from here. And talking about these communities where you can integrate DoTERRA's products. For the first things, you need to know what the kind of products DoTERRA have, because there is really huge ways to use it with nutritionists, with sportsmen, with a lot of ways. And when you see all these kinds of ways, you can open for the next step. You can see your list of your contacts. It's the second part you can do after this meeting, and see with somebody who invite you. You can ask, oh, what kinds of people I have, and ask them and check who is these people have some community, or maybe not have some community from themselves. Maybe you have some people in your circle. Thank you. In your circle, who have contacts from community. It may be not the first of your circle. It may be second circle or third circle. It's not so difficult. So the third part, you can ask recommendation. For example, when I tell my team or my friends that 3 markets will open in Indonesia and Emirates, I ask them, do you have somebody in these countries who will be interested in the second project for work, or second project to take a freedom for themselves? Because like Sergey already said, freedom is not about changing money for time, and in DoTERRA you can make it shortly, because one of my favorite metaphor is favorite example. For example, we take 2 years of I want to use it. I think it will be better. For example, 2 years, and this is 2 years also. But there is 2 years in maybe some kind of freelance. Как наемная работа? Employer. Employer. And maybe and there is 2 years in DoTERRA. For example, you worked partly here and partly there, so it's, for example, the same time, 15 hours a week, and that is the same, for example. What it means? How much time after 2 years career? How much money in the best way you can earn in part-time job in Emirates? How much? I don't know. I'm not working here. Okay, for example, starts from and goes to
4,000 dirhams a month.
and how much it's in dollars?
It's like $1,100 per month.
Yeah. Like this?
$1,100 per month around.
Yeah.
Part time, yeah.
Around, yes, part time. And how it goes if you will be one of the best in your profession? What do you think? If you're doing your best. For example, maybe you do some consulting or maybe another way.
10,000?
Up to 10,000.
Up to 5,000. Okay. And for example, in DoTERRA also, let's imagine that it's the same money. Let's imagine it's the same money. Because it's really close to. Also, it can be also 10,000 too. Okay, if it will be the same money, what's the difference in this money and this money? The difference is that here, when you come closer to, for example, this money, $5,000, you still need to change your time for this money. And when you come here for the same money, you don't need to change your time because your community of clients, your structure, are already independent of you. And this community can be all over the world. They can change countries, they can move on in anywhere. For example, in April I decided to move to Indonesia. So I did my my orders like a client in Russia first of all, and now I do it in Indonesia. So business is coming, not depends where I'm living. So it's the reason why there is the same time. Maybe it's the same money, but honestly, in DoTERRA you can make more if you if you are going now in this start of the market. You have more opportunities. So in the same time, you will have a freedom, not only the money. And it's the reason why I so love it. I love to help another people. And the next reason you need to understand is that when you come to DoTERRA, you already come to like a family who really interested in your success. Because when you started to earn more money, it depends of how much money get your partners. And it's a point that I really love because I have in my team few people who have more money than me. They don't have. I don't. There is no borders for them. It's not depends of how much money I earn. They can do more, and it's the reason why I like to help people who have a big ambition because it makes my business more sustainable and more and grows. But I'm really happy when people are coming over than me. And also with our teams we can share this freedom. We can travel together like we travel in Dubai here, and also in this summit, business summit that Sergey already said. We are coming with teams of diamonds who have 10,000 and above. Usually diamond have 15,000, and I come with my team of 6 diamonds. And I was so excited because I have a lot of people who have a few thousands every month, and it's a lot of inspiration when I see how I how I influenced for a lot of families, for a lot of friends. For example, with Olivia we meeting in Bali. We didn't know each other before DoTERRA, like only 2 months in Bali. Yes, and
online these 2 months, we like contacted each other once in 2-3 weeks. Like, in which country are you now? In which country are you now? It's we're not really friends.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. Yeah, we both like to travel, and it's a second part. When you join somebody to this business, you can offer them 3 ways. The first way, how people join to DoTERRA, they can be just a customer, just a client, and order some products from DoTERRA directly from US, from in any other countries. For example, I have my partner in Russia who invites his friend from Germany, and this friend of Germany invites some guy from India, your friend from India, and now he invites Lynette in Emirates. So you can work in different countries and use all support that we are offering for our teams. For example, now we do a lot of class in Emirates. Also, we make classes in Indonesia, in Russia, in Europe. So you have all the support. And when everybody, you have a person who invite you, and it's your closest family in DoTERRA. Yeah, these people are really interested in your growth. So this guy have another people who invite them, another people who invite them, and you can take all this knowledge from another generation and give it to your generation of partners and customers. So customers is the first way how you can join to DoTERRA. The second is like a sharer, like somebody who just love oils and love to share them with another people. But now we are mostly interested in business partners, and that is the things we are talking about. Mostly clients like to join to DoTERRA only after opening markets. It's the reason why we are mostly interested in partners in this way in first year. What can I tell more? Yeah.
I ask her personal questions because that's the most interesting. Her mind was really like.
I can train my English with you for a long time, but this question it will be more useful for you.
Before you come up with the question, I say there are several groups here, and one big group belongs to Lydia, and you can, before you leave this place, just make sure you create a personal appointment with her, especially good for you, because you are like by yourself, you're not part of any other group, and your upline comes to Leah. And another group comes to Katya, and that's Nastya's group, and you're lucky because Katya now is living in Dubai. And there is a third big group that goes up to Ajit and other partners. Unfortunately, they're leaving, but they're really good with online presence. And Christina is well trained already. Yeah. Other people from other groups. Okay, so yeah, you can go. It's important at the beginning to be really close because we did all possible mistakes. At some point we will share like the mistakes we did. And one of the mistakes is, I don't know if it's an expression, to create bicycle again, recreate a bicycle. Yeah, in Russian we say like you're recreating the bicycle, meaning you're trying to do something that's already
Recreating the wheel.
Recreating the wheel. So try not to recreate the wheel. Like if the steps are already easy and you just go, and basically your success depends on their amount of people that you contact, and there is one magic phrase. The magic phrase sounds like, I want you to meet my partner. Because in the beginning you will not be very confident, you will not be very kind of influential, but if you learn this one phrase, hey, I want you, my partner is in Dubai till Tuesday, I want you to meet my partner. That would work the best. Apart from that, I promise you that you can torture Leia.
Questions? Because in the hall I will not in the mood to ask a lot of questions. Maybe better now.
So how many hours approximately like per day you spend on this work on average?
Honestly, I ask every my partner how much hours they can invest in DoTERRA. For example, when I start, I separate my time between recruiting, enrolling new people, and supporting people that who already joined to my group. And I just manage my time. Okay, I need to think how to easy. Usually, when somebody starts business in DoTERRA, it's I ask my new partner if they have 10 hours a week. It's enough to start. It's good a way to start. If to you comes somebody who have a big community but have a little time, for them is enough 2 hours a week. Because I tell them, okay, let's make let's make a team for you and invite other people for this team, not for them directly. And it's the reason why they can invest a short time. But usually start from 10 and to 20 hours a week. It's enough.
Let me elaborate here, it's important. When we meet somebody who's really busy, like I met a lady, she was like a real celebrity in Russia in the 90s and 2000s, and she has many projects, she has a lot of TV projects, she has 1 million subscribers, so she's extremely busy. So I want to give her 2 things. Like, I want to answer 2 concerns. First is time effort concern, and second is reputation concern. I tell her, all the dirty work will be done with your assistance. Just give me somebody from your team that I can train them how to make orders, how to pay taxes, but it's not for you. You are a queen. You will just shine. You will come 5 minutes and then fucking go. Like you don't really. We don't need you. We need you to say, hey, it's great that you all come, and then we do all these little things.
It's one of the model you can use.
Yeah. And the second concern is that a lot of people they want to be associated. Like I am a yoga teacher. I'm not a DoTERRA promoter. Then it's also this like done by their team effort that we say, not like I do DoTERRA, but I have many projects. One of it is DoTERRA, and John and Mary is responsible in my team. Yeah. So you put like the focus of attention on your team instead of on yourself. That way your identity as a yoga teacher or a therapist or a public figure is not shaken by the fact that you do other businesses. And a lot of people do a lot of businesses. Like we traveled in South Africa and we stayed in the hotel belonged to Richard Branson. So Richard Branson. I had no idea that Richard Branson owned a hotel in South Africa, but it was nice to stay there. But Richard Branson brand it's not a hotel owner. He's like, wow, Virgin. Okay. So once again, time concern, time effort concern, and reputation concern. We say, no. We don't want your time. We want the time of your team. No. We don't put like the sign DoTERRA on your chest. it will be somewhere near you. That way, it's really easy to approach influencers because, like, nobody wants to kind of sacrifice the project that they love, but 99% feel they're under-monetized. They can be more monetization in their clients. Would you agree to that? Yeah.
And more contribution as well to the well-being.
We have a saying in Russian, to climb the tree, but not scratch your butt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the proposal that we do. Like, we help you to climb the tree without scratching your butt.
Because we know the way already.
We know the technique.
You already did all mistakes. You don't need to do it yourself.
Yeah, and for example, one of the best results, and it's also in Layer's team, it's the lady from Belarus. Belarus is not really big and it's not the best market. She started with just 77,000 subscribers, but she did it.
Not a lot of active of them.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's like a small percent.
In a year, she reached Blue Diamond rank, and Blue Diamond is $25,000 a month.
A little bit more than me.
Yeah, and I know several people who entered DoTERRA having 1 million to 3 million subscribers, and they just lost it. They just lost it because they were not well organized. They tried to do too much themselves, and they said, "No, I don't want to be. I don't want to sell your oils." No. We're not talking selling oils. We're talking integrated in the community.
It's about creating team and create community with this team.
Yeah.
Not only by one person. We do it together, and only this way gives freedom. Only this.
And when I look at their social networks in Emirates, I have a feeling that they are not too sophisticatedly monetized. It's more about selling advertisement, but less about long-term collaborations. That's another trick that you can think of, because when Instagram blogger or YouTube blogger sell a lot of advertisement, people start kind of not liking him. Yes? Yeah. It's they don't trust him anymore. But if he doesn't sell any advertisement, then his work is not monetized. So that's when we come and we say, hey, we can show you long-term collaboration with high level of retention of your customers, which will increase your income and stabilize it. Because even when people stop coming to your yoga classes or stop looking at your videos on YouTube, they still would go to warehouse in Japan and order oils, and you will get your commission from that. So increase monetization and stabilizing monetization of the community. That's our kind of key offer.
Questions?
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. I have two people who want to enter DoTERRA. They are both aromatherapists, and one has medical education, but they are both not in aromatherapy at all. So they are busy, they have their main job, and they would like to start their DoTERRA path step by step, sharing their knowledge, because now they don't use it at all. And do you have any, advice how to do it? Maybe someone already did anything like this?
When we work with people like that, the first key thing is to kind of narrow down the niche, because aromatherapy is such a like broad thing. For example, we have one of the leaders in Katya's team also, and now she's in Moscow, but she was in Bali. She is into hormonal health for women. That's her, like, and she's real expert at that. And we have people who work with like insulin response and like detox things, like sugar. So try to find their like niche for them. Once they found the niche, they need to look at the products, they need to learn the products. And sometimes if they're like really, we can give them products for testing. You can talk with your upline for that.
Yes.
And once they see that the products are working, they become a real advocate of the product, and it becomes easy for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is important to have a result.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
For example, one of my results, unexpected results, was when I was doing a lot of like implant work and stuff. I was using their deep blue cream, which is done for athletes for traumas, and I was using it on my cheeks, yes, and it was magic because all their kind of tension and inflammation just kind of smooth, yeah. And then the next 6 months I was there, hey, you go to like stomatologist. Yeah, get the deep blue.
Dentist.
Dentist, yeah. Get deep blue, get deep blue. Yeah. 6 months later, I relaxed about it. But then I had another story and another story. Yeah, I recommend every few months have a new story about some product that you like. One of my most crazy story was about hand wash. At that moment, I realized, oh, that's kind of and I have a reputation of like intellectual network marketing, blah, blah, blah. And now this famous Sergey is talking about hand wash. But I really love that hand wash. Why? Because most of the hand wash, they make the hand either too dry or too oily. And the DoTERRA hand wash, it gives you exactly this feeling of like clean, clear hands. Most of hand washes, they're either too flowery or too kind of medical. Chemical, yeah. And the DoTERRA hand wash smells like purity. Now, I still have this energy. I haven't talked about it for about a year, but when my kids that really resisted washing hands, they start liking washing hands without pushing, and that was like a big thing. So I always advise have 2, 3 things, or this story about frankincense that replaces marijuana. I still remember this feeling that I feel like, okay, I'm here and now.
It does make sense because we usually use it for meditation to open the crown chakra.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So even if they are professionals, I recommend not to approach just purely rational approach. Do it from the experience. And one of the latest things that I love, it's a combination of an adaptive line and serenity line. Adaptive is like a stress relief, and serenity improves sleep quality. And having adaptive during the day and serenity at night really, and so the people that wear these bracelets that measure their cycle of sleep, it improved in like 2-3 days. The quality of sleep improves, and the level of stress in the world goes up like really bad. So, yeah, that's just
Step by step.
yeah.
Okay, I have another question about them. So it's very, very good to have aromatherapist professional in the team. So I feel lucky and blessed. And it's good to send people to them for a checkup or aroma test, right? Diagnosis, yes. So should it be, what do you have any
Well,
reference?
1 second. Yeah, before you go, but I need a live brochure. It's something. There is a danger of working with so-called professional aromatherapists because they can overload people with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
DoTERRA developed so-called wellness pyramid. It's in the brochure or leaf. And that's kind of a way to diagnose the basic needs of any person, like how you sleep, how you eat, how you exercise, how you take care of different like health needs in your life. And there is so-called wellness consultation that allow you to lead your client. You do not need to be professional for that, because like when the person say, my major concern is my eating habits, then there is already a solution. Yes, if the person has like all kind of sickness, then you go to professional consultation, and we do have even online consultation that people can take. But if person is not sick but have some disbalances, it can be dangerous to send him to professional because he gets scared. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the first things to
Is
learn, yeah, it's wellness pyramid and wellness consultation. And it's available in YouTube. There are great trainings both in Russian and in English.
DoTERRA.
Yeah. You put
It's
DoTERRA
officially
wellness
education.
consultation, and you have like 10 different videos. You just pick up the style that kind of more resonates with you. DoTERRA is very open with information. Yeah, just like really a lot of good trainings, official trainings from the company.
People feel more relaxed and they trust more when kind of professional in front of them, and they have personal way of consultation. So they really like it.
Some people.
Some,
yeah.
I can say most of them. Not all.
No, it was not my experience.
Not yours?
Not my experience. Like,
Maybe
it's a different culture. Like, I
mean,
hate doctors.
But in
in
Dubai,
Dubai,
everyone likes
maybe.
personal. I want
Maybe.
something personal.
So it's the reason why DoTERRA use people-to-people marketing, because
Yeah,
if I know receipts for 10 ways to use essential oils, I can recommend it to my friend because I really can be sure how it works,
Yeah.
and it's really easy. DoTERRA makes it so simple for everyone.
I think I understand where you're coming from. People here still trust medical professionals.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. That way, yes, it's good to have at least one in your group. Yeah.
So my question was and is his or her job, it has to be paid, or me like a leader better take care of it? I don't know, I will put people under the aromatherapy.
Both ways work. We have some groups that have a fee on wellness consultation, and there is a person who goes from one client to another client for the, sometimes it's paid by the client, sometimes the leader pays it. And also we have situations where we promise such person a traffic of subscriptions, enrollments.
And both working well, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it depends more on what you believe and what person wants.
Okay, I got my answer. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
Thank you. And
Uh-huh.
you also here in environment, I feel there is few people who are not enrolled yet in DoTERRA, and it's good for them to know about the business in general. But I would like to ask you, what are the best advice for them, what to start with? Like it's normal people who have office job or yoga classes, so what to carry with them, what to tell the people, and also what are the bonus structured, how they get the
I
financial
never
support.
tell the detailed bonus structure at the beginning because it's too much mind work. It's very simple. Like if you do the structure right, and it's our responsibility to make sure that they do it right, you get 15-20% of overall commission, overall consumption. Yeah. So that's as much and as little I tell them.
But there is also like people from background of alternate marketing, so they're asking me, for example, how many legs to build, how many
Yes,
should
these
be,
are
this is,
logistics, yeah.
Yeah, you don't talk to them. You ask Katya to talk to them.
you have this magic
Yeah.
phrase, you can
I
just
want-
draw it, no?
No. And that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake because there are great trainings. There is med hall. Like I wouldn't never do it in 5 minutes. I look at the person and I say, oh, is he more like med hall energy or Alice Shedley energy or Goddard energy? So for every topic, I have a list of 3-4 videos. And I pick up the video and say, yeah, look and ask questions. Yeah. And there is maybe there is a build brochure here. Somebody. Yeah, there is a great. Yeah. This one. This one picture gives a lot of answers. First of all, it gives the average income on different levels. For example, like presidential diamond in average is $100,000 a month. Blue diamond in average like $30-something thousand a month. Then, what's even more important is average amount of months to reach certain rank. And I always say, in our team, we do it twice as speed compared to the average in the company.
Twice faster.
And that's true. Like all the ranks we do. There was a lady here in the beginning, the blonde in blue dress.
Yeah.
She did diamond in the second month. So in her second month, she was earning $12,000 a month. But she had her school, she had her base, and she just didn't do any mistake, just position it very kind of properly. But that's the potential. Yeah. Then there is different colors, reflects different bonuses. Like in the beginning, it's more the fast start, fast money. Yeah. Then you have more from like your 7 levels. But at the end, it's just the leadership bonus that is percentage of the whole company. Like when you reach the last 3 levels, your income is more about the whole company. Yeah. I just got a bonus 2 days ago. 60% of it is the bonus thing, not from my personal team.
Diamond and
I'm presidential diamond.
So maybe going back to Anastasia's question,
Yeah.
maybe it would be a good idea to organize, if Katya is okay, a Zoom call for our group. Would that be okay, Katya? Yes, thank you.
By Zoom call, you can have it
Yeah,
in
we can,
person.
we're still here. Oh, in person.
Yeah,
If she's
yeah,
here in Dubai, then that
She's
would be
living
great.
here. I
Fantastic.
tried to push her to come to Bali, but she
Yeah.
resisted. And I realized, okay, we have at least one leader permanently living in the, yeah.
Yeah, and also we everybody help each other. It's one of the point that we have a lot of support in every month, because in every month so a few leaders of our team will come here and make presentation, and you will join.
I'll come January. Olivia is planning to come for 3 months.
Maybe start in January.
Yeah. Yeah, so we take local market quite seriously. But honestly, like, I feel your energy. You're close to making the mistake. it's believe me, it's not as important as you think.
What do you mean by mistake, and which mistake?
Like you value the numbers more than people.
That's not true, by the way.
Great, then.
No, that is not true, but I'm a person who would like to be prepared for the questions that people may ask, because perhaps there are already questions. So I do have a great community around me. I do work with people.
Yeah.
My work is heart-based. So the people who are around me, they already know that. But it's for me, it's important that I'm also prepared when they ask me those questions, because I have also people in other countries who are my clients who are very interested in the product, because I believe in the product. And I personally, if I'm passionate about something, the people that know me, they know if I'm not passionate, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate because I use it at home already, as with my partner, with my children, and I've been using those. So the people who are with me, with us today, they already have some level of experience. But I like to also cover the steps to be prepared to answer questions. So I don't use energy and time. That's the reason.
I understand.
Yeah.
Can I use you an example?
Yeah.
Passionate, I support 100%. Prepared, that's a danger. You cannot be prepared. You cannot.
For everything.
There is all.
No, it's not for everything. It's not. I'm sorry for interrupting. It's not for everything. But they will ask. They have already. How does it work? That's why we're asking. Yeah, it's just basic. They don't know anything. So
Okay,
that's what
girls.
they've asked already.
Basic is you get 15 to 20% of all consumption in your network. Another basic is focus on building 3 groups. Yeah. Everything else is above basic. When people start going there, I always feel danger. Like there is no need for me to like make it up or deceive you. Like when people start asking that type of question, I say, hey, it's not that important. If somebody asks you something, you call me, you call Katya, you say, I answer tomorrow. Being passionate is 100 times more important than being
I
prepared.
completely understand and agree with you. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely agree with you.
So be unprepared. Yeah.
Can I add to that? So, I mean, I'm here today completely in the dark.
Okay.
I know the product. It's very popular. I know in Australia, and I'm Australian, but
I can hear it.
yeah. So when you say focus on your groups,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
Okay, so the way up to $10,000 a month is rather simple. It's 3 builders, each nurturing their own community. Like in case of Leah, it was 4 right from the start. In my case, it was 4 right from the start. But most people, we say 3. So we ask them to, that's like when your son gets married, you ask, just let's have a dinner. I want to look at that girl. Yeah. So we ask you to bring your prospects to us, just to, and we would know their potential. We say, okay, that looks like a leader, that looks like a builder, that looks like a share. So the goal is to have 3 builders and community of maybe 30, 50 people for each builder. When you have 30 people for 3 builders, you go up to 2,000 people. When you have 50, 60 people, you go up to $4,000 or $5,000 a month. It's that simple. But it starts with 3 serious people, either already having their community or ready to find somebody with the community. Does it make sense?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3 serious people who are going to take the product out there and be passionate about it.
Sometimes the product, sometimes the mission.
Okay.
Like, I sell freedom. My main product is freedom.
Right. Okay.
And their oils come right after. Most people sell oils or health, and then they sell freedom. Our group is more about freedom. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Another question.
Maybe one more. There is influencer, people who have their base, and there are people like Veta. She's meta-influencer, so she didn't have her own base. She was very private. She was very like behind the curtain person, but she knew like 10 influencers to call. So every time I meet a person, I have this mental check in my mind. Is he more meta-influencer type or influencer type or just a motivated builder type? Does it make sense? Yeah. And depending on my kind of checkup, I start trading this person. So in Dubai, even if you're influencers by yourself, you're very much into meta-influencer position because there are a lot of like fitness and yoga and celebrities and people who want to monetize their audience. So you can act as meta-influencers easy.
Actually, many of us are influencers.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Many.
But when I will work with you, I still push you into meta-influencer position. Because there is another metaphor I like. It's metaphor of Klondike, Alaska gold mining. The first stage of gold mining is getting solids from the ground. You go and you look for solids. And then the second stage is working with niches. And only third stage is going for gold sand. So beginning of the market is going for gold solids.
I was wondering, how do you address people who are interested in the product? Say, I like it, I want to recommend it to my friends, but I don't want to commit to be having to order on a monthly basis a certain amount. That's the biggest challenge in this network marketing.
I say, and it's true, that DoTERRA is the most relaxed system possible. To get out of the system, you need 12 months of doing nothing, like zero. If you make one order of one oil in a year, you're still in the system forever. In order to meet these 100 points of qualifications, there are 2 kind of paths. One path is falling in love with product and sharing it with the family and friends. and we help to do it. For example, my mother, she likes the DoTERRA cosmetic lines. My wife is not using it, but her mother is using it. Like every third month, I send her one of their lines. She's using it in 3 months. The second approach is that once you have even a small community, the commission payment from this community pays for 50% of your personal order, then 70% of your personal order, then 90%, and then it pays for your personal order. It's not like investment from your family budget. Yeah. And the worst thing that can happen when people feel they are obliged to buy oils, that devalues their value of oils, and that's we want to avoid by any possible means. That's why wellness consultation in the beginning, so they know that their health concerns and health goals can be addressed by DoTERRA. It's not like they need buy oils for business, they buy oils for their personal needs.
And it's the reason why you need to be a product of your product. When you really use some of the product, people are really trust you because you recommend that something you really use. Honestly, for business, you did need to use every line. You need to find just few products, maybe 5, maybe 10, that you use every day, and you have your own cases. For the way how you can recommend it, and it's enough. You don't need to do it all.
Great. We have about 5 minutes in the room, so don't be by yourself. Ask as many questions as you want to. The way to do it, we do so-called organizational groups, organizational chats. It's the chat with all your upline, like 3-5 people above you. When you have a question, you don't think, should I ask Alona or Katya or Mary? You ask the whole upline, and we decide who is most qualified, or who is in the same time zone, or who is awake and can answer right now. Yeah. So that's like a generational line with your mother, father, grandmothers, great-grandfathers, and so on. And it's really important to feel that we are behind you, no matter where we are, in Bali or in Dubai or somewhere. And we are with you.
Question?
I have a question for you. As you mentioned initially, that you would prefer us focusing on B2B. Now, usually in the Dubai market, when you do B2B, there's a credit line. That's how it works. So then what do you do? Like for instance, if you have a holistic center asking for, say, 20 of the products, but they usually would pay you back.
Yeah, I understand. First of all, until the official opening, we cannot do retail.
Correct.
Yeah. Second, if you find really motivated and interesting project center, I pay for samples, I pay for testing. The same do the leaders. So we do provide samples and testing.
Just for
But
start.
yeah, but
Yes. But once it's launched,
then we try to show them that retail is like a dead end in this business. That it's much better to educate their clients to sign up and make their own order than to keep buying it from their physical center. Yeah, because once the client would go to vacation to Japan, they order the product there, and this center will get the same amount of commission without doing any labor for that. Yeah. And going into little more details, their kind of testing facility creates more traffic than the sales facility. So if they have a center or like vegetarian cafe or yoga studio, I would work for them to open their testing place. That way we're not violating the law because we're not selling, and that way we're converting the traffic of clients into the loyal customers of DoTERRA, and we can do it right away without waiting for opening. If they still insist, yes, there is like 1 out of 100, it's okay. I mean, if it will create profit, we'll do the investment.
All right, I have another question. In the UAE, in the Middle East, at least in the UAE, usually products as such needs municipality approvals. So by the time the launch happens, will that approvals be done?
DoTERRA is always working white. So,
Always.
and
In any market.
the fact that they opened China and India, which is their most bureaucratic, difficult markets. Yeah, I talked to the vice president for Europe and Middle East, and he's confirmed that Emirates are really easy compared to India and China. So everything would be done white, like transparent and easy. But on the other hand, our work do not need any approvals because any of us can order a product from the personal use from United States. There are some restrictions of import, even for personal use, but they're little. And taxation, custom duty, custom tax is very small in Dubai compared to Argentina or India or Turkey. So, yeah.
So just to understand better, at the moment the products are okay to be tested in clinics. Let's say physiotherapy clinic.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is no any restriction on that.
It's their personal responsibility that they won't try it. We
Yes,
can provide.
you do want to try
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
so I've
yeah.
already spoken with them, so that
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know their own guidelines.
Of course,
yeah.
absolutely. And if any of them wanted to train with aromatherapy touch technique, how can they connect? Can we connect them with you?
There is, yeah, but not with us in that case.
Okay.
There is a special enrollment kit, ATT training kit,
Okay.
and it includes aroma touch training in it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we will stay longer in the lobby, so you please approach us. But I want to keep good relationship with Pullman. They were upset with us Sunday because there were twice the amount of people in the room that they expected.